Yes, thank you very much. Dear everybody, dear NGO Forum, I'm so glad to be here and to have the chance to share some of my thoughts on this issue, on the thoughts of on the cooperation between civil societies in the Nordic countries and the Baltic countries and Russia. I represent the Norwegian Labour Youth, which is the biggest political youth organization in Norway and the youth organization to the Norwegian Labour Party, which is the current governmental party in Norway. And I represent a generation who grew up after the Cold War, where we look upon each other on each side of the border as friends and possible co-partners. We have all the possibilities and for strengthening cooperation between people from all our countries. My hope is that my children will grow up in Norway, where it will be as natural to cooperate with Russia as with Sweden. That it will be as natural to visit each other, to study each other's culture and countries, and to work with others as organizations. And I'm really optimistic for the future. I think we have good chances, but I'm not only optimistic, and there is not only good chances now, there is also an extreme need for better cooperation. The world is more and more globalized. What happens in one country affects all in the rest of the world. We have been dramatically reminded about this during the financial crisis. What's happened and what started in the US with some store that went broke has ended up now with many of the biggest economy in the world in crisis. So I will now say a few words about three of the main challenges to the modern society and how we have to work together as organization. The first one I would like to say something about is the climate crisis. That is the most important crisis and challenges we are facing. If we don't solve the climate crisis, it doesn't matter if we succeed in any other area. Here in the northern part of the world, we have already seen the effect of the crisis. It is a global task to find a solution, because the pollution doesn't follow national borders. One country can destroy for its neighbor and for other countries in the world. In many ways, we can talk about two crises when it comes to the climate. One is the actual crisis, that the weather is changing and that we are destroying our world. The other crisis is that we all know about this. We all are aware of the situation, and most countries in the world recognize it. But in the same way, our world leaders don't manage to solve it. In a few weeks, they will meet in Durban in South Africa, but there are not very good, there are no reason for being optimistic for the outcome. We as civil society has a huge responsibility to work together in this issue. We have to set pressure on our state leaders, and we have to discuss how we can both have more progressive policy internationally and how we can take more responsibility in our own countries. We must exchange policy and strategy. And no organization can take all responsibility alone, but if we all do something, we will go a lot closer to a solution. The other area I would like to say something about is the labor market. I already mentioned how many countries in Europe now are meeting high unemployment. And unemployment is the biggest challenge, and it's the biggest challenge for youth in Europe currently. That creates social problems, poverty, and it takes away hope from young people. We must work together against unemployment, and we have to show each other solidarity, both because we care about each other,
but also what's happened in one country affects us all. But at the same time, I will give out a warning to say that to fight unemployment, the right medicine is not to accept lower standard to accept lower working conditions. Because we have seen in many countries that there are pressure on the rights for the workers. And if we lower the rights in one country, it makes pressure for other countries to do the same. And the result in a long time perspective will be that we don't fight unemployment, but we just lower the quality of our working conditions and then also lower the quality of life. I believe the slogan to ELO, decent work for decent life. There is a short way solution to fight unemployment, to lower the rights in the working life. This is a common task for us as civil society on both sides of the borders, to Russia, to the Baltic countries, and to the Nordic countries. The last challenge I want to point out is to fight against the extreme rights. All over Europe, we have seen that the racist organizations inspire and motivate each other. In Norway, this summer was attacked by extreme right terrorists. 77 people were killed in Oslo and at Utøya. And the 22nd of July, the government building in Oslo was bombed. After that, there was an attack on the summer camp to my organization, the Labour Youth. We were 700 youth gathered 5 days to discuss politics, to discuss international solidarity, and to discuss the fight against unemployment. Then we were attacked, we were shot, and 69 of us were killed. There is a huge responsibility for us to survive that massacre, to continue the fight for what those who lost their lives believed in. They believed in the fight against racism. They believed in diversity. The terrorists wanted to kill our members because he wanted to destroy the multicultural society by killing the political youth that fighted for it. Then we saw the result of a racistic ideology, cruelness from one man, and a man who at the same time had the capacity to handle. We lost so many, they will never come back, but now it's up to all of us to continue their fight. Then we need support from the whole world, and especially from you, our neighbors, to fight against racism. After the attack in Oslo and at Utøya, the whole world was standing together against the attack. That warranted a lot to all of us who was there. But that was not enough, because there is not enough to stand against violence. We need to fight the ideas that created the violence. Through social networks, it's easy to spread hate, it's easy to spread lies. We must fight back. We all have a responsibility to argue, to stop racism, to stop anti-Semitism, to stop Islamophobia and homophobia. Also, towards our countries, you will find racism and prejudices against each other. Therefore, I'm very glad we can have this conference, that we can meet and that we can get to know each other and share experience. Our human values and are not nationally, they are globally. Knowledge creates friendship. One of a hero to very many of us who are active in social societies is Mahatma Gandhi. He said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." That's a task we have together. We have the task to be the change that we want to see in the world. Even though we are living in very different countries, in some way, and even though the discussions are different in Norway and in Russia or in Iceland, we all face the same challenges. None of them can be solved alone, but all of them can be solved in partnership. That was some of my remarks on this theme, on how we are facing almost all challenges in the modern society today. Thank you very much.
Keskusteluun meidän täytyy siirtää näistä teemoista työryhmiin, koska meidän on lähdettävä lounaalle. Olemme myöhässä aikataulusta jo sen verran, mutta sitä ennen haluaisin